Boy, Ole Man Winter, back on these motherfucking airways. Like I told y'all, I was going a little bit later than what I said, but I told y'all I was going to do another live today. You know what I'm saying? Here it is, because I had to break the subjects up for the day up, you know what I'm saying, in different parts. So we here, you know what I'm saying, and motherfuckers are still at this bitch nigga Charlamagne. We pushing the gas on this nigga. Ain't nobody stopping, ain't nobody slowing down. Charlamagne is forever gonna get this work till motherfuckers end up taking this bitch down, till he get investigated, till motherfuckers get to the bottom of all of these motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, rape allegations, all this shit. Or whatever the fuck. This nigga just got to go. He's burnt money. So, you know what I'm saying, like I said, the white supremacist handlers, they need to go on and find them a new do boy, because it's over with for Charlamagne. You know, so, you know, this time, you know what I'm saying, I usually sit here and talk shit if I throw you a motherfucker commentary or some shit. It'd be some short shit. But, you know, Funk Flex, you know, he came up, you know what I'm saying, and reiterated a lot of the talking points that I've been, you know what I'm saying, stating, and Kwame Brown been stating the last couple of days and shit. You know, he came and put the exclamation point on it, you know what I'm saying, came here for his emphasis. He went for a while, so, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to play like his whole spiel, you know what I'm saying, so it's going to be a nice little minute that you're going to hear from Funk Flex and shit, and then, you know, I come in and add my commentary. So, as normal, as usual, doctrine of fair use is in effect, you know what I'm saying, we going by doctrine of fair use. This is for commentary and critique, you know what I'm saying? This is the subject of the program matter at large, you know what I'm saying? So here we go. No, without further ado, here's, you know what I'm saying, you will hear Ole Man Winter's commentary after he gets done. So hold on, here we go.
So New York City, I'm going to take time right now and give my opinion. And listening to that mother's vocal and audio, you, Mr. Radio Personality, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe you didn't know anyone. I don't believe you. But what I am going to say is, you know, New York, Jersey, Connecticut, I wouldn't condemn somebody, a situation, something can happen, things happen. And I'm not just saying things happen loosely and generically. I'm just saying maybe a mistake was made early on in life. And I get it. I don't like it. I don't understand it, right? So this situation happens. It's a bigger charge. You put it out to a lesser case. You're young. I get it. The part I'm going to share with you, New York, because I'm going to tell you something. I really don't need to say your name, because I'm going to tell you why. I don't care if everyone knows. I want you to know. Where this goes left is you continuously, let me take this, turn the music down. This goes left because you continuously stand on that podcast and stand every time you get to try to normalize. You try to normalize it every chance that you get, that it's okay to put pills in a woman's drink. You talk about it all the time, that it's okay, or it happens, or because you're young, to put drugs in a woman's drink and have sex with her while she's incoherent. You talk about it all the time. That's what makes you a nasty creep. Not because of the situation you had, because I'm going to tell you something. I wasn't there and I don't know what happened. But every chance you get, New York, this guy stood on a podcast and he talked about spring break and meeting a young lady, putting something in her drink, and then having sex with her when she was incoherent, laughing about it. That's bruh, nobody wants you to get fired or to lose your situation. Nobody.
So that's where me and Funk Flex differs, because we do want to see him get fired. We do want to see charges. We do want victims to come forward, other victims to come forward, because he's proven himself to be a serial rapist. He has the MO of a serial rapist, and we do want victims to come forward if there are any other victims. And we do want to see him fired, and we don't want to never see this bitch again. We want to see him walk away in handcuffs. That's what we want. I'll let him continue.
Nobody's like, man, the fact that you try to normalize that's okay, that's good, like it's things that men do. That's not what men do. That's what you do. You do it. I'm going to tell you the most terrible thing about you, bruh. Because I watch you on that podcast and you sit next to a guy. That guy you sit next to on your podcast doesn't care about our culture. He doesn't care about your culture. But you sit there and you laugh with him about raping women. You think it's funny. You know what else is funny, my brother? Because I'm staying on my stone today of where I'm at. And I'm going to tell you where I'm at. I am not at what you did 20 years ago. I'm at what you did in the last couple years and how you talk about it and how you say about it. You piece of...
See, nothing has changed. This is the sign of a serial rapist. He started young, you know what I'm saying, doing this shit, getting away with it. When you get away with some shit, you get more bold in your actions. It escalates, it continues, it gets worse, it gets bigger. I'm almost positive there's some other victims out here that are too afraid because of Charlamagne's team of lawyers and his power and his recognition and his fame. They're scared to come forward. Don't be scared. Now's the time. It's now or never. You got to make your voice heard if you want this person that victimized you to pay for his crimes. Don't be scared of that team of lawyers and that cease and desist. That cease and desist ain't just for the people he's sending it to. It's to put fear in anybody that might even think about stepping up to the plate to say he violated them. But if this man violated you, ladies, you need to step forward. You need to come out. You need to say something. And we need to take this bastard down. You know what I'm saying? iHeart, what is that shit? P. Diddy Network. They need to fire this motherfucker, man. Don't have us start having to hit up a DM motherfucking flood P. Diddy's DMs and shit. Revolt TV. Don't have us start flooding P. Diddy. Don't have us start, a campaign against this nigga on a wide national scale and shit till they do something about this shit, man. They did it to R. Kelly. The city called for a citywide, notice to bring anybody that may have been violated to come to justice. And you see what happened. We calling for that same notice from Charlamagne. You know, it's been too long. He's getting away with shit that he should be taken down for. And you know what I'm saying, he will escalate. If he dodged this bullet, he may very well victimize more. So we can't let him. He dodged the bullet 2 years ago. He slinked away. He got away from this shit. We can't let him get away no more. We gotta stand on this nigga neck, and we gotta stay there. We gotta stay there. We can't let up on his ass till his ass gone, till they do a full investigation on this motherfucker. And we get this nigga, you know what I'm saying, do what need to be done to this nigga. And fuck him and his motherfucking team of fucking attorneys and all that shit. That shit ain't scaring nobody no more. Niggas have a knowledge of the motherfucking law, some, you know what I'm saying, and that shit ain't spooking motherfuckers off. So, you know, nigga, try again, nigga. You ain't gonna slink out of this shit by threatening motherfuckers with lawsuits that you know you don't want to follow through with. All right, I'm gonna let Funk Flex, you know, continue.
You tweeted that R. Kelly, that sex video, was one of the greatest celebrity videos you've ever watched. That video was with a 14-year-old. But you thought it was a great video. You tell on yourself constantly you're a weirdo. I don't care if nobody else checks you. I'ma check you. You're nasty and you're a weirdo. And you always want to talk on a podcast about taking advantage of women when they're unconscious. What type of dude are you? Why is that cool to you? Why is that cool as you stand next to that clown, that guy that doesn't care about our culture and continuously talk about raping women? You always use the word rape, how you raped your wife. You love to use that word, bro. You get mad at Kwame Brown for using it. You use it. You use the word. You don't think it's funny, my brother? I don't care about saying your name. Let me tell you something. I don't care about cease and desist. You know why? You want to send out cease and desist to people because you want the clarification of what you did said properly. The fact that you don't see that's bananas, I'm not sure if it's the people around you or if you want to continue. Maybe you want to continue being who you are.
What the problem is, and what people fail to realize, Charlamagne is sick, man. He's a fucking sicko. He trying to do this whole detailed shit to try to make Kwame look like he has mental health issues. But Charlamagne really has some severe mental health issues. He's a sick person. And my man's he's Funk Flex. He's expertly pointing this shit out. That Charlamagne has some real deep character flaws, real deep psychological flaws. You know what I'm saying? And he's pointing them out one by one and really, you know, reading his ass right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said before, you know, I don't agree with Funk Flex on a multitude of issues. But, you know, we find ourselves in this rare time that we agree on something, you know what I'm saying, and standing on the same side of an issue. And that's right here in this campaign to expose Charlamagne the rapist for his sins and his crimes. You know what I'm saying? So, like I say, I'm going to let this man get back to going in on this motherfucker. Here we go.
For some reason, your name is being said with a 15-year-old. I'm not sure why that's happening. You refer to your dudes. Every girl that has a problem, it's the dudes around you. The dudes are with the girls. My dudes. You say it's your dudes. I don't understand that part, bruh. That's the part that people aren't really grasping. That's why people keep hammering you. It's not for what you did 20 years ago. You can be sorry for that. It's the way you're moving forward, bro. Let me tell you something. You said that the R. Kelly video is the greatest video you've ever seen. You tweeted that. And you know how that came out? Because you had the nerve to go on an R. Kelly documentary to talk about a pedophile. You're a pedophile! You're a pedophile! You! Is it okay if R. Kelly is in the video with your kids? Is it still a great video? You nasty. Is that a good video? Is it? You don't have to answer. I'm going to tell you honestly, it's better you don't. You shouldn't. You should never, ever answer this. You should always keep a cease and desist, and you should never, ever talk about it, because we already know what you are. You are one of them slimy, greasy dudes that used to be in our neighborhood that don't talk much, that likes to put medication in women's drinks and get on top of them. That's you. We know what you are. I know what you are. I do not care if I ever say your name. I want you to know that I know what you are. Bruh.
And like I said, Funk Flex and anybody else, you don't have to be scared to say this bitch name. Charlamagne Tha Rapist. That's his name. You know what I'm saying? He's admitted to rape. He's described raping women. Funk Flex just exposed his various descriptions of raping women. So if I see a motherfucker baking bread, you know, they're a bread baker. If a motherfucker describe their actions as raping a motherfucker, they're a rapist. A rapist is one who rapes. If you describe an action and say you did it and it's a description of a rape, then that means you're a rapist. You don't have to be convicted. So any bullshit ass lawyer that's telling you you can only call somebody a rapist if they're convicted of that crime, no. If they say out their own mouth they committed rape, if they describe raping somebody, they're a rapist. You're a rapist because what you do, not because of whether you've been convicted or not. Just know that. You know what I'm saying? Charlamagne is a fucking rapist. Them cease and desist letters aren't worth the paper they're fucking printed on. And if he's stupid enough to take a motherfucker to court on all that shit, then he's dumber than he fucking looks. And the lawyer, he must pay the lawyer a hell of a lot to go on there and make a fool of their goddamn self too. But let Funk Flex continue.
You. You're nasty and you're disgusting, and you like to joke about. It's the podcasting that takes me to a bad place. It's your joking about it that takes me to that place, and the other places nobody checks you. Nasty. I'm checking you. Nobody doesn't respect your accomplishments or what you do and what you stand for. You should have your opinion. You worked hard for it. Don't confuse popularity with doing whatever you feel you can do. You hear the emphasis in that mother's voice. You watched it. You know how I know you watch it. You know everything that people are saying because you send out the cease and desist. Cease and desist means you're lying. You do not want people to discuss the subject. And guess what? You're right. Maybe people shouldn't, and they shouldn't hurt your brand. And there's a part of that I see, and I agree with you. What makes you a...
Nah, Funk Flex is fucking up. The shit he's saying right there is all bullshit. This nigga brand deserves to be hurt if he's fucking raping, man. There's no separation of, oh, well, his reputation should be allowed to be intact, but he rapes too and has admitted this shit. Like, rape is something that damages your fucking character. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't be an upstanding citizen and a rapist at the same time, and a non-rapist at the same time. They don't go together. One negates the other. So Funk Flex is saying bullshit about, oh, he don't deserve to have his brand tarnished and all that shit and whatever. It don't motherfucking matter. If you work hard all your motherfucking life at whatever the fuck you doing and build yourself up to whatever the level, and then you do something heinous, it negates all of that. You lose that. Whatever reputation you built, you lose it. Certain situation, whatever wealth you built, you lose it. Whatever the fuck. If you decide to go after you built your reputation to be upstanding citizen, and then go on a rape or murder spree, you don't have no more brand. Your brand now is rape. Your brand now is murder. So Funk Flex is, fumbling the ball right there because he's saying shit that don't make sense now. And he's talking about two things that can't coexist. You can't be a rapist and we expose you as a rapist, but you don't deserve to have your brand damaged. Yes, you do, because being a rapist by default damages your brand. But it hasn't for all this time because he's joked about this shit and everybody just lets that shit go on and nobody has said shit to him. That's how you know, like I stated before, and I'm going to stick on this, that's how you know he's a high-level Boule motherfucker. Who the fuck else can get out here and brag about committing motherfucking rapes and talk about it so haphazardly and nothing happens to them? It's not a black motherfucking man on this planet that can do that. I don't know how the fuck he's able to do it and still keep his job. The least of his problems should be keeping his job for some shit like that. If there's anybody else, they be facing criminal trial, all type of shit will be happening to them. The fire won't be the least of their worries. But let's go, brother. I just wanted to reiterate, Funk Flex was on some bullshit with that shit right there. I'm not agreeing with that shit at all.
Creep. What makes you a nasty creep is you keep making jokes and how funny it is for a woman to get raped while she has drugs in her and not being able to remember. That's the part, you creep. You nasty creep. That's the part people are saying they can't stand about you. Nasty. I wish you got what happened to my daughter. Spit in your face. You talk about another man's family with Kwame Brown. And guess what? I guess it's journalism. And I guess you should be able to say what you want to say. He calls you a rapist. You send him a cease and desist. Guess what? Why don't we just call you contributing to the delinquency of a minor that's 15 years old? Does that feel better? Does that make you sleep better at night? Nasty! It does, right? Makes you feel better about yourself? Because guess what, my brother? No cease and desist will help your guilt and ain't gonna make you sleep better at night. You just pulled the wool over more people's eyes. Congratulations to you. If that's what you want out of life, sir, you have won. And my brother, I know you get it a little extra hard because there's people who hate you. And there are a lot of things that are being said about you that aren't true. Because we're going to keep it 1,000.
Like what? I don't know what the fuck you talking about that. Because everybody been talking about rape shit. Ain't nobody been saying nothing else about him other than that. And all that shit is fucking true. Because it came right out of his own fucking mouth. So, I don't know, Flex. You trying to give him a little bit too much of the benefit of the doubt.
And I know situations happen. My brother, you sound like you cop to what you cop to, and you're paying, you're on probation, whatever you're doing. It's none of my business. But the fact that you keep trying to normalize, that's the part taking everybody to a bad place, you nasty. You're so nasty. That's the part. You sit next to people, you sit with academics, you sit with that nasty guy with you on your podcast that doesn't care about our culture, and you just laugh about chicks getting raped. Because as he's laughing, I'd like to punch him in his face. Because I want you to let me in on the joke. Let us in on the joke.
And he's talking about, I believe the nigga name is Schultz or something, that white supremacist that Charlamagne does a podcast with. Charlamagne is a fucking coon, man. He sits there and kicks it with white supremacists. Tommy Lauren, this Schultz guy who had, a white supremacist debate with Tariq Nasheed before. Like I say, he's the best that the white supremacist handlers of his can find. That they can try to pose like he's somewhere close to a regular nigga. But he's so off code, you know what I'm saying? He's one step away from a Tim Scott or any one of them weird awkward motherfuckers. He's definitely a weird awkward motherfucker. But some kind of way, he slithered his way into convincing you all that he was cool at some point. I don't know how I did. Maybe because they force fed him down y'all throat. I just don't know where this shit came from with him. To where y'all, fuck with this nigga like it's all fucking good and shit. He always been a weirdo and a lame and all this shit to me. But y'all seem to think that he is worthy of being a fixture in black society and be accepted as this commentator and all this other shit. Or maybe it's just the white supremacists has force fed us to the point we just like he's just there and we accept him now. I don't know. But they have a lot of tactics to make you think you made a decision when they made it for you. I think he's probably one of them situations. But like I say, let's go back to Funk Flex and see what he's saying.
Let us in on the joke about putting pills in a woman's drink and having sex with her and she's incoherent. Because I'm going to tell you something, my brother, and then I'm going to end this. You seem to look up to R. Kelly and his sex tape with the 14-year-old. You and your wife, I guess that's what you do. You like to have sex with people when they're incoherent. You did it on spring break. And you expect us to believe, you describe yourself like that, you say that's what you do, but you want us to believe this one girl, Jessica Reed, you didn't do that. It was your boys. You're a liar. Keep sending out your cease and desist. You're doing the right thing, buddy. Send one now. I'm here. Send one out. Send it out.
Well, there you go. I think Funk Flex basically got at this bitch, what I'm saying, on a level that, made me proud and shit. Other than a couple little off code things that the man said, trying to give him too much of the benefit of the doubt. Sometimes it's worst case scenario with a motherfucker and there's no redeeming qualities or some shit. This is it. It's no redeeming qualities for Charlamagne in this situation. There's no excuses. There's no, well, maybe this, well, it was 20 years ago, well, it was this, it was that. He hasn't changed his mind frame from then. Funk Flex just described it perfectly, He has recent shit where he, you know, pubs this shit up, acts like this shit ain't nothing, but acts like it's a big fucking joke. Rape is fucking serious. It's fucking disgusting. Nigga, you that hard up for some pussy that you gotta take it from a motherfucker? That shit is crazy as fuck, nigga. Worst come to worst, go buy you some pussy or something, nigga. You got money. A motherfucker don't rape for the pussy, though. They rape for the power. It's a sick psychology. And like I say, he got three of them under his belt that we know about. And knowing that this shit is more about the psychology of the shit than the actual sexual act. This shit is ingrained in his brain. And this might even be the root cause for his avocation for mental health and shit. This might be the root of that. This might be the demons that he's battling when he's going to see these therapists and advocating for mental health and saying that, this shit should be normalized within the black community, which I wholeheartedly agree in. But what may have brought this man into the mental health space and realizing that is him realizing all the sick shit he's done in his life, is wanting to have an understanding or maybe even try to conquer um, these fucking demons that he got, or these things that he's done to women, maybe trying to figure out what's possessing him to put shit in women's drinks and have sex with them when they're unconscious or when they're extremely intoxicated. Bill Cosby is rotting in jail right now for this same shit. But you mean to tell me a lawyer is going to send me a cease and desist letter and tell me how I can't say this shit about this man? And Bill Cosby rotting in a jail cell for less? Come on, man. Give me a motherfucking break. I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? I welcome the shit. I know this clown ain't gonna litigate against any motherfucker. If he do, he a goddamn fucking fool. Which he may be. He's stupid enough to run around here, rape women, and then brag about it later like it's all good. Even expressing that he understands that that type of behavior is rape. But then he think a lawyer can fix all the dumb shit he done said and done in this motherfucking world. Are you fucking kidding me? Lawyers aren't miracle workers. They can't make people unhear things. They can't make us unsee shit. They can't do that. So I'm not sure what him and his lawyer think they're gonna do if they actually get somebody in court and they play some of these videos. This man saying shit out of his own damn mouth. Because that's gonna be the first thing a motherfucker say on why they're saying he's a fucking rapist. And right now, there's so many motherfuckers calling this nigga a rapist. He gonna have to sue about 10,000 fucking people. That's the strength of power in numbers. If we all stick together, we all stick to our guns, then shit, we win. We win, he lose. You know what I'm saying? He tried to threaten Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown kind of backpedaled, but he still stuck on his shit with the motherfucker. But he kind of backpedaled. Okay, cool. He wanted to pick, you know what I'm saying, the biggest, strongest. This is the way you're supposed to fight. You pick the biggest, strongest. nigga out there, and you know what I'm saying, when you getting dog pound, you attack that motherfucker and at least try to take that big motherfucker down. You know, and like I say, he the loudest voice in the motherfucking room right now, screaming and shouting this nigga down. But he stood tall as much as he fucking could and shit. Cause like I say, a lot of motherfuckers ain't savvy with this law shit. So I don't expect the motherfucker to make moves without having a full understanding of some shit. If a motherfucker was, had extensive dealings with the motherfucking law, they'd be more comfortable when lawyers send them shit or being involved in legal matters or potential legal matters or legal threats or whatever it may have you. You know, so I understand to a certain extent, but I'm here to let motherfuckers know Charlamagne exposed himself. There's no magical lawyer out here that's gonna plug the ears of entire juries and judges and all this shit and make them not be able to hear all the shit Charlamagne has said himself. These documentaries and all this other shit out here. His charges where he was charged for shit, pled to a lesser crime and all this other shit. What Charlamagne really should be doing, real talk, if he want to save and preserve his career, instead of steady trying to silence people, cease and desist, ignore it and all this shit, since he done fucked up and did the cease and desist and that type of shit, now it blew it up even more for him. His only option now is to make a public apology and, like I said before, start a fucking nonprofit and shit, make a public apology, make amends, acknowledge that the things that he has said are are what would be described as rape. He has to be honest about that. This is the only option for him at this point. You know what I'm saying? If he want to save his career, because if I'm not gonna let up. I'm one man, but if everybody that's on his ass now stay on his ass until his fucking handlers do some shit about him, throw his ass in the back or whatever the fuck, then motherfucking his ass is going down. So the only way he could do this shit is to confront it. What would have been prudent if he never sent his the cease and desist letters, he could have ignored it and let shit die down. But since he added the fuel to the fire with that shit right there, now that shit didn't do shit but piss off motherfuckers and shit now. And he sees that everybody recognizes that shit as a bluff. Now, his only move is to make that public apology, say, when I said that I put Spanish fly in that woman's drink and had sex with her when she was unconscious and had to remind her or let her know the next day that we actually had sex. That was rape, hands down, unequivocally. It's no denying that was a rape. You know what I'm saying? And I apologize for my actions. Whether she said later that it was fine and cool or whatever it was, still, under the technicalities and the boundaries of law, that legally was a rape. Saying, admitting to what he did with his wife before they were married, when he took her to her mama's house and she was sloppy drunk, and he had sex with her. Him admitting, and he don't have to go into details of each and every scenario. I would suggest he don't, but I would suggest that he says he said and done things in the past that are considered rape. You know what I'm saying? That is rape under the boundaries of the law, under the standards of law. And he apologized for that. He's going to open up a nonprofit. He want to make amends. He's willing to pay restitution to the victims. Publicly state that you're willing to pay restitution to the victims, and he might be able to salvage his career in that way. Other than that, I see him being a slowly sinking ship right now out in these streets. Because niggas ain't letting up on him. Motherfucking Kwame brought this shit to the forefront, and this shit's catching hold like a motherfucking wildfire, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and the man ain't gonna be able to ignore the shit. You know, so like I say, I don't know what type of people you got around you, Charlamagne. But yeah, I've been calling you a bitch and Charlamagne the Rapist and you a piece of shit and all of that shit. And I stand by it. But on real shit, you know what I'm saying? Everything I said, if you did that type of shit, then you may be able to survive this shit and you could be advocate for, victims of rape. So, I'm not being on no bullshit this time. I'm being on real shit. And I'm just saying this is a way out for this man, because this is serious. This ain't no joking or laughing matter and shit. This shit fucking affects people's lives. Lives have been ruined. People have, had their lives altered for the rest of their life. There's been people that's been in therapy behind this shit for years upon years, trying to pick up the pieces, put their life back together. And, this shit hurt a lot of people. So, you know, it just is what it is, you know what I'm saying? Hopefully, Charlamagne, the rapist, is learning his lesson and has learned his lesson. But if he continues to fight against people, if he continues to send cease and desists, if he continues to deny shit, if he continues to joke about rape, if he continues all of this shit, if he continues to continue living his life business as usual and think he could just bully people with lawyers and shit and won't own up to shit, it's not going to end well for him. Because we ain't letting up, nigga. It's not going to end well for you, Charlamagne, if you run across this. It's not. Nigga, the only way out is to submit, is to go ahead and say what you did, offer a public apology, say it'll never happen again, open up that nonprofit, and hope that, you can maintain some semblance of what you got already. Oh, and offer restitution to your victims. So, okay, this is Ole Man Winter. I ain't about to beat your eardrums up all night motherfucking long. So I'm about to sign out. You know what I'm saying? It's been a pleasure. Peace.